Joining us in studio to talk all things sports, and there is a lot of it today from ESPN 1420, Steve Peloquin. Good morning.
Okay, first off.
Yes.
I was right.
Okay.
For anybody that was around me during the college years and everything, see, sometimes but I was right. They got that bumper music, okay, yes. Cameo, word up. You try to put on those airs, act real cool. Okay. I was arguing with people. They thought at the time that airs meant the old Michael Jordan.
Oh, no.
Sneakers, seriously. And I said, no, that's not what that means.
That is not what that means.
And they were like, oh, yeah, that's what it means. You try to put on those airs like the Michael Jordan, the first Michael Jordan Air Jordan tennis shoes coming on. So I was right. Y'all idiots. That's it.
Okay, great.
I'm glad that we clarified that.
I'm glad we got that out of the way to start with. Okay, so let's talk about really the topic at hand. We'll come back around to the Cajuns. We have two big losses for the Saints family.
Yes, indeed.
Today, Hokie Gajan, color commentator for the Saints. We talked about it earlier this morning that between Hokie and Jim Henderson, that is the sound of the Saints in my head and will always be for my life.
Yeah, not too many people could take over for Archie Manning.
Yeah.
And Archie left in 2000 to go, watch Peyton, become a member of the Indianapolis Colts. And the hardest thing to do is take over for a legend. I mean, let's face it, Archie Manning's a legend, but they got the right guy. I mean, Hokie Gajan came in and just his down home sense of humor and just his way of talking football to people almost like talking to you in a barbershop. I mean, it was he was incredible. He made you feel like you were sitting out watching the game as a friend. He really was. So since 2000, Jim Henderson and Hokie Gajan have been the broadcast team of the Saints. And, you heard it last year, and, like anything else, I mean, not everybody that is diagnosed with cancer succumbs. Mm-hmm. But then as time went on, you started to hear that, it's probably less and less likely that he was going to make it, although he put up a very brave fight and a very brave front. And, you heard last night he was in intensive care, and you just had the opinion that the end was near.
I think with sports especially, having such, there's only this small segment of people who can name, who won which games in 1994 and what week, what I mean? But I think with sports especially, anyone who could bring other people into it and really make them get it. I'll tell you, my mom, the number one example, loves Hokie and knows more about the Saints than most because she got it from him.
Because she got it from Hokie.
It was just, it was comfortable. It wasn't judgmental.
Right.
Oh, wait, you didn't know that this happened? It was just a explanation. So
and people forget too, he was a very good football player. He was outstanding running back for LSU 77 through 80. He was drafted by the Saints in 81 and had 4 really good years until injuries kind of curtailed his career. But he actually averaged an NFL best 6 yards per carry in 1984. So he was very good player as well.
So we won't get too deep, obviously, into the Will Smith thing because what has happened has so far outweighed what he contributed to the Saints. However, I'm interested in your take on it, the response from Sean Payton, the response from the Bensons, just about his death and how important he was for the team, Super Bowl winning team.
Well, he's the second best defensive lineman of all time in Saints history, I think, next to Wayne Martin, who I think's the best. But he was there during all the good and bad times, for the Saints, really. I mean, he was one of the lone Katrina players that continued into the Super Bowl. So he was there for Katrina. He was there for the NFC Championship game in 2006. He was there for the Super Bowl in 2009. He was there for Bountygate
maybe I just blocked it out of my mind.
Good and bad. He was there kind of through all of that, there for during the Jim Haslett era as well, so people forget, how he wasn't an elite player year after year. I think he was a one-time Pro Bowler, should have been 2, but he was a very good player, every year. So, in my opinion, and you talk about some good defensive linemen now, Leroy Glover and Bruce Clark and Joe Johnson. He had a lot of good defensive linemen, but I think next to Wayne Martin, that Will Smith's the second best defensive lineman in Saints history.
So, events like this tend to start up the rumor mill and then, throw lighter fluid into it. The rumor mill goes, was the whole talks about him being inducted to the Saints Hall of Fame, is that a real thing, or is that something that Facebook made up?
Oh, I think it's real. I think that, and actually, I think Hokie was supposed to go in too.
Wow.
If it's not my mistake,
it gives me chills.
I think
crazy.
I think that was due to come out on May the 17th, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
But like I said, in the case of Will Smith, it's very much legit. Even if it wasn't legit, it would have been legit in the future because, unfortunately sometimes, and we're all sorry for, friends and family of people that pass away, but sometimes when people pass away, especially in sports, we try to make them, maybe a bigger deal than what they were. But Will Smith, as I said, very good player for the Saints, second best defensive lineman of all time, so his time was coming, but I think it was very much legit.
So let's talk about the Cajuns. Cajuns baseball continues, softball continues. Thoughts?
Well, baseball won a big road series over the weekend in Statesboro, Georgia, against Georgia Southern. So they're probably starting to find their stride a little bit right now. Now they got 5 games this week, so it's going to be a busy week for them. No conference games, but they play Tulane tonight, UNO tomorrow night, and then they got a split home and road series with Southeastern Louisiana this weekend. So, as Coach Tony Robichaud would say, they got to just keep grinding. It's the latter part of the year now. This is where they turned it on last year. Hopefully they're doing the same thing this year. And with softball, they continue to win. They continue to win without Lexi Elkins. They're 32-3 right now. They get a little time off, but boy, big series this weekend. Cajuns taking on the number 1 ranked Florida Gators in Gainesville, Florida. So, you don't normally get excited about non-conference series because it's non-conference, but if you can't get excited about this one, you have no pulse.
So you can hear this weekend's games on KPEL and softball.
Softball will be on ESPN 1420 and .com.
All right, Stevie P, as always, completely my pleasure.
It's been your pleasure.
More than you know.
Take off those airs.
Take off those airs, Steve. Come on.